Hey guys, it's Simon and welcome back to the Aether Hub for more Magic the Gathering lore. We're continuing our story about the history of Dominaria, but before we continue, let's quickly recap what happened in our previous video. Last time we covered the Brothers' War, a conflict between two brothers and brilliant artificers Urza and Mishra, which started as an argument over ownership of what used to be a Thrain Power Stone, broken into two halves, the Might Stone and Weak Stone, which were basically the keys holding the lock to a planar portal to Phyrexia. With the removal of the Power Stone pieces, the portal became active, but the Phyrexians themselves were still unable to use it and reached Dominaria thanks to a powerful sealing spell known as the Shard of the 12 Worlds, a spell that kept 12 planes, including Dominaria, sealed away from the rest of the multiverse. The shard came into being when, at the end of the Brothers' War, Urza had activated the Golgathian Silex, ending the war, ascending him to the status of Planeswalker, and ushering in an Ice Age on Dominaria. This Ice Age had lasted for 2,000 years until it was finally ended thanks to a Planeswalker named Freyalise, upon casting a spell known as the World Spell, breaking the Shard of the 12 Worlds, freeing Planeswalkers from their imprisonment, and allowing them to Planeswalk to other worlds as they pleased. But in doing so, also unintentionally allowing Phyrexians to finally use the planar portal and begin their invasion of Dominaria. After the Ice Age ended, the world became flooded due to a large portion of ice melting at an accelerated rate. Not much happened during this Flood Age, except that the Phyrexians were, once more, delayed in their inevitable invasion of Dominaria. However, once the flood ended, the invasion began. It started slowly with sleeper agents, Yawgmoth's creations made to infiltrate enemy camps, strongholds, and cities disguised like ordinary humans, or elves, or any other member of a race, with the sole purpose of gathering information and eliminating threats. It was these sleepers that had basically alerted Urza to the Phyrexian presence on Dominaria and the beginning of the invasions. In order to combat Yawgmoth and his army, Urza decided to create an army of his own, and towards that end, he and Baron, another powerful mage on Dominaria, had founded the Tolarian Academy. I went into a bit more details regarding a certain prominent student of the Academy, and Chronomancer Planeswalker Teferi in a separate video that you can find linked in the description below. After some time, the Phyrexians had discovered the Academy and invaded it, unsuccessfully. But the invasion did prompt Urza to change his approach to the Phyrexian problem, an approach that he believed to be the quote-unquote salvation of Dominaria, dubbed the Bloodline Project. The purpose of the Bloodline Project was to create the perfect soldier to fight the Phyrexian army, Metathran soldiers, as he would name them, resulting in Garrad Capashan, a part of the larger project known as the Legacy. When the invasion finally began, Urza's Metathran army, along with Garrad, had clashed with the Phyrexian forces led by Sabo Tavik. A large battle took place at the Caves of Kolios, the origin point of the Phyrexian portal, with Urza's forces determined to stop Yawgmoth from re-entering Dominaria. Urza felt partially, well, almost completely responsible, because it was here that he and his brother Mishra found the planar portal and basically unlocked it by taking the Power Stones. Saba was defeated, but Yawgmoth's arrival was just temporarily delayed. Seeing that his army won't be enough to stop the Phyrexian invasion, Urza got together a group of 9 other planeswalkers, including himself, and dubbed the group the 9 Titans. The sole purpose of this group was to defeat the Phyrexians on their own plane, but unfortunately, they were betrayed from within by a familiar face, Tevish Zat. Despite this betrayal, Urza got what he wanted from the group, a fuel for his newest invention, Soul Bombs, powerful weapons with the potential to obliterate Phyrexian forces all at once. No one could have predicted what happened next. Urza found himself unable to destroy Phyrexia, mesmerized by the infinite potential that was this fully artificial plane. Instead of destroying the Phyrexians, he ended up joining them, surrendering himself to Yawgmoth, but before any further damage could be done, Urza was sent to battle Garrad in the Phyrexian arena, and Garrad ended up killing his former mentor by cutting off his head. Shortly after the last battle for the fate of Dominaria took place, Garrad escaped Phyrexia, carrying Urza's head with him, and Yawgmoth had followed them back to Dominaria. Upon entering Dominaria, Yawgmoth took a form of a death cloud and began completely obliterating the defending forces. He was ultimately defeated when Garrad, following Urza's instructions, had activated the Legacy weapon, killing himself, Urza, and Yawgmoth while ending the Phyrexian threat once and for all. 100 years later, another group that sought world domination, the Cabal, were formed in Otaria. The Cabal was led by the Patriarch, Virat Maglin, and under his rule, the organization had expanded and accumulated a considerable fortune by running pit fights. One of many pit fighters who had participated in these battles was a barbarian by the name of Kamal. During his adventures in the Cabal city, Kamal had stumbled upon an artifact of immeasurable power, the Mirari, an artifact with the power to grant the user his or her greatest desire, but also bring them unspeakable ruin, a lesson that all of its wielders would eventually learn. Driven mad by the Mirari's power, Kamal had mortally wounded his own sister, Jessica, a barbarian woman with a planeswalker's spark. Kamal gave his sister to a centaur named Seton, a powerful druid, to try and heal her wounds, but Seton was ambushed, and Cabal forces murdered him, taking Jessica to see the Patriarch. Afraid of the threat that she posed to him and his organization, the Patriarch sought to destroy Jessica, but instead ended up cursing her with a killing touch and transforming her into Phage, the Untouchable, a being that would later become Corona, avatar of Dominaria's mana itself. But that's a story for the next video, and the final chapter in the history of Dominaria. And there you guys go, chapter 3 of the history of Dominaria, and one chapter closer to its conclusion. We're getting really close to the official lore of our return to Dominaria, and I'm really excited how these older stories could be explored or expanded upon when that comes. Remember guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, share it across the multiverse, and of course subscribe for more. You can also support the channel and join the Vorthos army yourself by visiting and considering pledging to our Patreon page. That's www.patreon.com/aetherhub, or click the link in the description below. As always guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'm Simon, and I'll see you again next time here on the Aether Hub.